This is my 1897 white VSIIb Treadle, and you see I'm sewing tarp material, and this is part of what I'm still doing for Quilts for Veterans, but I'm also doing for myself. After going through all of my pen supplies, and now I'm kind of on pencils, but I don't have as much to go through. And of course, I have a whole art series called Life is Fragile that's chalk. And ideally, I would like to get down to the bare minimum of supplies. And so my theme right now is bare minimum. And part of that is making reusable items. Now you've seen me, I have to fix the camera here. You've seen me do wool pages, brown paper bag journals. This is kind of like the brown paper bag journals. This is an old tarp that I have cut into roughly maybe 12 by 13 pages. And each of these books has about 10 pages, which would give you a 20-page journal. And believe it or not, sidewalk chalk or regular chalkboard chalk will write on these. Now, part of bare minimum and part of PTSD therapy with veterans, and I'm going to be doing a post on this, is I think that if you write your story and read your story, it helps you work through your story. So bare minimum is tarp fabric, a nice bare minimum machine, which I'm using to stitch these pages together, and a box of chalk. And you can write your story and read your story and help get yourself through any traumatic event. Now, I have, like I said, about 10 pages here, which is quite thick, even though it's an old tarp. And this white VSIIb is going right through it without a problem. Now this particular one, the pages are uneven, but what I'm going to do is just trim them so that it looks actually more like a book when I'm done. And I just have to pull this whole thing out a little bit because I'm hitting a bureau. And by going up and down twice like that, I can either cut the threads now and tie them off together, or just flip this around again and go back over those stitches. You can use this theme of bare minimum, and no matter who you are, in everything you do at home as well, because we recently saw Greta Thunberg, the young teenager, give a speech at the UN, and kind of woke me up a little bit. She was very upset, and she was right, that we're not paying attention to what we need to change. And I have to get some scissors to take that off of there. If we reuse plastics, we use free paper instead of buying fancy paper. If we make our own inks out of oak apple galls that are on the trees, if we use the bare minimum, then we're all doing something positive for ourselves and for the planet.